Hi, my name is Kelly, and I am going to attempt the discussion board post for today on human sexuality. Um, our author starts to talk about the biblical perspective and authentic sexuality and what that means. And it is God's design for humankind to draw us into meaningful, person-centered relationships. So when I read that and I thought about it, I started to think about the marital relationship and how God has a desire for us to be close with human beings, and sex is one of the ways that we are able to do that. In a healthy, committed relationship, sex is an important part of that, and the biblical perspective sees that as something God really wants us to do and intended for us to do. The worldview perspective seems to be guided by culture. So, as I was reading that, culture plays a huge role in how people see sexuality and how it has changed over time drastically. Starting back in the Victorian era, where people were completely covered and people didn't openly talk about sex, to the mid 20th century, where we had some sort of a sexual revolution. I also thought it was interesting how the authors talked about gender and how culture plays a huge role in how we think about what each gender is supposed to be like and the qualities and characteristics that they're supposed to have. And I just thought that was so interesting, especially when we talk about families and how families can help form children's feelings, views, ideas about sexuality, and what an important role culture and family plays into that. I really thought about that, and when I was reading it, I have 4 kids, and my oldest son is 17, and my daughter is 15, and how they're at such an important age, and how our family can impact that. Also, I am an elementary school counselor, and so the cultural aspect I really took that into consideration, especially when our authors talked about the Muslim culture, and how they veil their women and cover them up to keep the men from fulfilling their sexual desires, and putting it in the women's hands to cover that up and to keep it safe. So I thought that was very, very interesting. It gave me some different perspectives. So when I work with families from other cultures, I will be more aware of how they view the sexuality. Overall, a lot to think about, and I'm excited for the course, and good luck, everybody.